everyone. Welcome back to the second week of 4 Tips in 4 Minutes. My name is Charles Elwood. I started a company about 3 months ago now. And the story I hear sometimes is, I think I learned this from Bryce, a mentor in my camp. Starting a business is kind of like walking around in a dark room and running into the walls and figuring out what walls not to run into. So I've run into those walls, and I want to tell you how not to run into those walls. So bear with me for 4 minutes and I'll give you some tips. I do want to mention that I have a YouTube channel now, and I have a LinkedIn profile where I'm going to post these videos to both places. So subscribe or follow me on LinkedIn. That way you get updates on all my videos that are coming out. So the first tip for today is that when you are starting your own business, you're going to have a lot of people give you a lot of advice. And you're going to have a hard time trying to figure out what advice to take, what action to take. So the best advice I ever got was to read a book called The One Thing. Avi Singh, my mentor online, clued me into this book. I've also seen Tim Ferriss talk about it. Is you really need to decide, the best freelancers decide what thing is the most important thing to reach their goals every day. And they just focus all their time on that for their business and get that thing done. Because if you scatter yourself and spread yourself thin, you're not going to be able to focus on anything. So this is probably the number one thing I do is I spend every day journaling and planning out my tasks so that I do the one thing and complete the one thing. So that's tip number one. So some of you may be wondering if you stumbled upon my videos by searching for Power BI, what Power BI is. And it's an incredible tool for visualizing and manipulating and molding and shaping data and connecting data from different sources. So the thing I like to talk about is if you have Google Sheets, Excel, SQL database, and an ERP system, and you want to connect all the data, it's an incredible tool to do that. And then you can visualize it pretty quickly. Here's an example I have on my website. You can also share publicly your reports. So I got this data from the SBDC. It shows a map of businesses in Grand Rapids. It shows a count of year when they were established. And the cross-filtering is just incredible. And it does summations and aggregations. So in Grand Rapids, Liz's organizations, there's 166. There's 3,000 businesses in this database. Here's the total sales. And what's really cool is you can add slicers. So for example, I just want to see manufacturing. So you can kind of see on the map where the manufacturing companies are, when they were established, what year, and there's 15 commercial printing types, and Steelcase is the largest of that category. You can also add other categories like nonprofit. When you have Power BI running for you, it really can connect data. And to be honest, this is just a flat file that I got. It was a very simple data set, but I could combine this with demographics, with all kinds of data from the web, and really do some neat stuff. All right, third tip is what to do about a website. I spent way too much time analyzing. There's Bluehost, there's GoDaddy, there's all different Wix. There's just so many different website hosting registration places. So what I did is I found 2 or 3 that met my needs, and cost was one of them. I wanted to start simple. I wanted to use WordPress with an Elementor plugin. So I found that Bluehost was an option that I could use, and I just went with it. And at some point, you're just going to have to decide, pick one. They're pretty much all the same. There may be some price differences, some feature differences, but I went with Bluehost and just took action and got it moving forward. And that's probably the best advice I ever got, was just take action and execute, because I was spending too much time researching these things. So I use Bluehost. I use a plugin called Elementor. I use Astrid. I think they have some basic templates for websites. And then I just edited the templates, or I use plugins, and it's a drag and drop system. So Elementor, so you just drag, if you want a heading, drag it into there, and you can edit all kinds of stuff on the fly. You don't have to mess with any code. Also, just I wanted it to be secure. I've heard a lot about hacking. So I use WordFence just to secure my website. And then for just some basic SEO, just to get listed on Google and some of the other, and Bing, I use Yoast, and that got me listed and met my needs. So just something really basic like Bluehost with WordPress, with WordFence, with Yoast will get you off and running. All right, last piece of advice for today, look for a support community. Starting a business is hard. It's one of the scariest things I've ever done in my life. It has the highest of highs, the lowest of lows, and doing it alone can be very, very scary. And so what I did is I went scouring the web and scouring locally for support groups. FounderCo is one. So if you go to founderco.org, a local entrepreneur knew that it was lonely, so he started a group as a how-to for founders. That's been a huge blessing in disguise for me. I get so much out of joining this group. We share stories and we're all in the same boat together. So it's been amazing. Surge is part of Lakeshore Advantage, which is a group locally. There's probably other groups like this. People are finding that there's more and more freelancers, and we all need a support group and a support network and people to talk to and share ideas and bounce ideas off of. So in Holland, Michigan, Surge has been a great help. Online, so Avi Singh, of course, at learnpowerbi.com. He's been a great mentor. I've paid for his Learn Power BI, and then I moved up into the Pro Plus class, which is a group of 20 entrepreneurs who are starting Power BI businesses, and it's been just a wonderful experience for me. So that's my advice to you is there's multiple groups out there trying to help you, trying to support you. It's hard. Join these groups and they'll make a difference, a huge difference. So that's all for this week. And we'll see you next week with 4 more tips on either Power BI or how to start your business. Thanks. Bye.